Hi friends, welcome back to the session. In the last session, we started previous gate problems in the transformers chapter. I think we solved 3 questions. Now let me proceed. Remaining questions. Okay, in this video. See, let me start with question number 4. I already told you. I just provided a previous transformers gate questions in a PDF format. I already provided in the description. You just try to see that link which I provided in the description. Just try to open a PDF file through that link and just try to take printout so that it will be very easy. Now let me see question number 4. Okay, question number 4. Please let me study the question number 4. What he has given? The low voltage winding of a. So let me write that question number 4 here. So actually that question number 4 asked in the gate 1997 for 2 marks. Okay, this was the question asked in the gate 1997 for 2 marks. Okay, so please try to go through the question. What he has given? The low voltage winding of a 400 volts by 230 volts single phase 50 Hz transformer to be connected to a 25 Hertz, then supply voltage should be. So what is the voltage that he has given us? He has given here. He has given a 400 volts by 230 volts. 400 volts by 230 volts he has given. Okay, and we know if 400 volts to 230 volts he has given, so common sense that I can take this one as a VH value, I can take this one as a VL value, high voltage and a low voltage. Okay, so please try to understand, he clearly mentioned word, the low voltage winding of a 400 volts to 230 volts single phase 50 Hz transformer. So initially what is the frequency? He said that he is saying that 50 Hz. So he is to be connected to a 25 Hertz supply. That means F2 is saying that 25 Hertz. Now what is asking to find? Then supply voltage should be. He is asking to find a V2 value. Okay, so please try to understand the question clearly, guys. So that word is very important. Whatever he has given the question, the low voltage winding of it, that word is very important. Please try to underline that statement. The low voltage winding of a. The low voltage winding of a 400 volts to 230 volts 50 Hz transformer is to be connected to a 25 Hertz. That means initially he has given a supply, something he has given, V1 supply he has given, and for the V1 supply frequency 50 Hz is there. Now he is going to operate the transformer on 25 Hertz. Okay, and he is saying that what should be the supply voltage. So first of all, guys, first of all you should know here what is the V1 value. You have to decide what is the V1 value here. Means initially this transformer is connected to which supply, that is very important for us. Okay, so for deciding that only he has given clearly the low voltage winding of a. That means initially he has given supply to low voltage winding, nothing but I can say here 230 volts is the low voltage side. So he has given supply voltage to low voltage side, means you should take V1 as 230. Okay, so please V1 is equals to 230 volts is the he has given indirectly to you. So F1 50 Hz and F2 reduced it from 50 to 25 Hz, then supply voltage should be. So guys, already regarding this I covered one concept in your lecture already. Guys, pi m proportional to relation pi m proportional to V by F for relation is there. This relation is very important. I already told in lectures. Please try to see that. So after completion of EMF equation of transformers, I might have covered this one. So here, if you observe clearly, suppose if you maintain voltage constant, if you reduce a frequency alone, your pi m increases. Pi m increase means what? I can say transformer core enters into deep saturation. Okay, comma. It demands more amount of IMU. Demands more IMU value. I can simply, because you know already what is the shape of this pi versus IMU curve. Pi versus IMU curve will be like this. So already we know. Okay, suppose what he is saying that initially he is taking something like IMU1 current and flux. Let me take it as a pi m1. Now what he is doing here? He is maintaining voltage constant. He is reducing frequency alone, because of the flux increases. So flux increase means let me take it will enter into transformer core. Transformer core will enter into deep saturation like this. Okay. So suppose example pi m2 it is more than pi m1. So because of this nonlinearity and saturation concept, though pi m becomes from pi m1 to pi m2, so your increment of your IMU is very large because of the shape of this curve. Okay. So your IMU is very large. Okay. This please try to refer videos I already explained there. Okay. So whenever by keeping voltage constant, if you reduce frequency alone, flux increases. So transformer core enters deep saturation. It demands more amount of IMU. So what will happen to power factor? Reduces. Okay. So which is not desirable? Power factor reduces. I can say which is not desirable. Which is not desirable. Which is not desirable. So now tell me. So to overcome that, what I have to do? Suppose reduction of power factor should not be happened. Increasing of IMU should not be happened. That means increasing of flux should not be happened. That means if a frequency reduce voltage also, so that V by F remains constant, flux remains constant. Whenever flux remains constant, IMU also remains constant. There is no decrement of your, there is no decreasing of your power factor. Okay. So here this one I can write here. What is the remedy for this problem? So very simple. To avoid transformer core, enter into deep saturation. Okay. If a frequency reduces, reduce voltage also, such that V by F remains constant. Whenever V by F remains constant, your flux also remains constant, IMU remains constant. There is no decrement of your power factor. Okay. So that means what is the hint for this question? Suppose here initially 50 Hz is there. Suppose he is reducing 50 Hz to 25 Hz. So okay. So that way what I am saying, suppose if you maintain voltage constant, I told you the core will enter deep saturation, demands more amount of IMU, power factor will reduce, which is not desirable. So further what you have to do, if you are reducing frequency from 50 to 25, reduce voltage also from 230 to something. Okay. So that your V by F should be maintained constant. So please now tell me. So V by F is constant here. So V2 by F2 is equals to V1 by F1. Tell me from this if you want V2 value, V1 by F1 into F2. V1 how much he has given here? He has given 230 was right. 230 by F1 value how much? 50. What about F2? 25. So 25 2s are, let's say 115 volts is the answer. So your supply voltage is 115 volts answer. Option you can go for option C is the answer. Okay. Option C is the right answer. Option C is the right answer. Okay. Right. This is about the question number you can say 4. Question number 4. Now what about question number 5? Question number 5. Question number 5. See, question number 5, he has given in a GATE once again 1997 for 2 marks. So GATE 1997 for 2 marks. Okay. So please let me study the question. Yeah. A voltage V equal to 400 sin 314.160. So a voltage V equal to how much he has given? V equal to how much here? Please try to see. V equals to, he has given 400 sin 314.160. So like it is like V equals to Vm sin omega t. V equal to Vm sin omega t. It is in this form. Okay, that means omega equals, I can take it as here 314.16 and Vm equals, I can take it as 400 volts. Okay. So he has given a voltage V equal to 400 sin 314.160 is applied to a single phase transformer on no load. Therefore, please take this voltage as a no load voltage V0. Nothing wrong. Next, if the no load current of the transformer is 2 sin of, he has given no load current of the transformer 2 sin of 314.160 minus how much he has given? We know already from vector diagram I naught always lags V naught by angle of pi naught. That pi naught he has given in the question as how much here? Minus 85 degrees. Okay, he has given minus 85 degrees. 85 degrees. Now what is asking to find? Yeah, simple. Is asking magnetizing branch impedance will be approximately. Here magnetizing branch impedance of transformer means what? I had given clearly nomenclature. Please try to go through that videos. Okay. So you have to find Z naught. If you want me to write, if you want me to draw this equivalent circuit, I can draw like this. This is what I can say voltage V naught. Shunt branch parameters I can take R naught here, X naught here. Okay, and here I1 is a current, I naught is a current here. Here I2 dash is a current. So we are discussing about a no load condition. We know formula I2 dash equals to minus I2 into K. Since the transformer is a no load condition, I2 becomes 0. This also becomes 0. So I naught is a vector sum of IW and I mu. Okay. So this IW is a current flowing through R naught branch. I mu is a current flowing through X naught branch. So he is asking to find. See, actually I had given nomenclature. R naught means what? Core loss resistance of transformer. IW means what? You know, working component of no load current, or I can say core loss component of no load current. X naught means what, ma? X naught. Magnetizing reactance of transformer. Okay. And IB means what? Magnetizing current of the transformer. Because like this I give so many nomenclatures given. And in addition to that, Z naught means the combination of, it's a parallel combination of your R naught and X naught. So R naught in parallel with the J X naught, nothing but I can say Z naught. So for that Z naught, we know nomenclature has given magnetizing branch impedance. Magnetizing branch impedance of transformer. This one is asking to find simple. So tell me if you want to find Z naught, Z naught per phase we want to find out. Z naught per phase we want to find out. Tell me how can you find out this one? Z naught per phase means how can you find out? Z naught per phase means simple. V naught, B naught. Okay. To be frank, here V naught RMS per phase by I naught RMS per phase. You know V naught RMS means simple V max by root 2 by I naught RMS also I can write it as I max by root 2. So guys, tell me what is the V max value here? I can tell you that's 400 only, no? So I had taken a voltage as a reference here. So let me cancel root to root here. So 400 since it is reference for us, because sin 314.160, no, it's nothing but reference for us. Whereas I naught sin of 314.160 minus 85 degrees. That means reference is voltage V naught. I naught lags V naught by an angle of minus 85. Sorry, I naught lags V naught by an angle of 85 degrees. So 400 at angle 0 degrees by, so I max will how much ma? 2 at an angle of minus 85 degrees. Okay, so 200s are, so answer 200 at an angle of what ma? Plus 85 degrees is the answer. So okay, so 200 at an angle of plus 85 degrees. Option C is the answer. Option C is the answer. Please make it fast. Option C is the answer. Okay, yeah? Please. Now this is about 4th question, 5th question. Let me go for 6th question also. Yeah, 6th question, it was the question asked in GATE 2003 for 2 marks. Okay, so I'm just going to erase this portion. Let me discuss question number 6. Please try to go through that question number 6, what he has given. Try to study the question, you can understand. Well, I say always you have to study the question and just try to note down what he has given, so that you will be having some idea, okay, what you have to find and how you have to find all those things. Okay. Now let me see question number 6. Yeah, question number 6. Question number 6 asked in a GATE 2003 for 2 marks. GATE 2003 for I can say 2 marks. Okay. So please let me study the question clearly. Let me study the question. Figure shows an ideal 3-winding transformer. An ideal 3-winding transformer. Okay. Please guys, ideal transformer means I already told you, wherever you are able to see this ideal term, simply keep IMU equal to 0, IW equal to 0, I naught equal to 0. For this I had given, for that reason also I had given. Please try to go through the videos, okay. So figure shows ideal transform is simply you have to keep I naught equal to 0. Next, what he has given? Yeah, figure shows an ideal 3-winding transformer. Windings are wound in the same core as shown. So he has given figure. So let me first of all draw that figure here. It's a 3-winding transformer having a primary winding, secondary winding and tertiary winding also. Okay, first of all let me see the turns ratio so that you can decide. So he has given turns ratio N1 is to N2 is to N3 is equals to 4 is to 1. N1 is to N2 is to N3 is equals to, he has given how much ma? 4 is to 2 is to 1. That means you have to show more number of turns in the primary side, somewhat less in the secondary side, very less in the tertiary winding. Okay. So anyway, he has given in the, already has given figure. So please try to go through that figure. So he has given like this. So nothing but primary winding. Okay. And you know, secondary winding also he has given. Okay. And tertiary winding also he has given. Okay guys, and observe clearly what you see. Connect some voltage source of V1 here. Let me connect some voltage source, how much? V1 here. Okay, and observe clearly he has given primary current arrow mark like this he has given, and I1 he mentioned. And guys, try to understand. So yes, primary winding having number of turns N1, okay, secondary winding having number of turns N2, and tertiary winding having number of turns N3 he has given. Okay, so please guys, yes, now a resistor of 10 ohm is connected across winding 2. See, actually here he has given winding numbering also. Winding number 1, winding numbering 2, he has winding numbering 3 like that. Okay, he has given. So he connects some resistor well. How much here? A resistor of 10 ohm is connected across winding number 2. So here across winding 2, he connects some resistor. What is value? Yeah, tell me, what is this value? So you can take it as RL value. How much he has given? 10 ohm. So he has given 10 ohm connected across winding number 2, 10 ohm. Next, and one more thing, be careful. A capacitor of reactance 2.5 ohm is connected across winding number 3. Okay, so across winding number 3, a capacitance, I mean XCL he has connected. XCL how much he has given here? 2.5 ohm connected across winding number 3. Now let us see what he is asking to find. Winding 1 is connected across a 400 volts AC supply. So he has given V1 value how much? 400 volts. 400 volts. AC supply mentioned, 400 volts AC supply. Now what is asking to find? The supply current phasor I1 is given by. So you have to find a supply current phasor I1. Okay. So guys, first of all tell me, before finding your question I1 bar, he is asking to find supply current phasor I1 bar. I1 bar equal to, you know, formula I0 bar plus secondary current refers to primary, it becomes I2 dash bar plus tertiary winding current refers to primary, it becomes I3 dash bar. And I already told you, since it's ideal transformer, I can neglect your I0 value. So let me neglect this one. It becomes I1 bar equals what guys? I2 dash bar plus I3 dash bar. That's it. So the thing is here you have to find I2 dash and I3 dash. Okay. So let us see here how you have to find I2 dash and how you have to find I3 dash. I3 dash. Okay. Now before that, so please try to, though he has not given nomenclature for primary winding EMF, secondary winding EMF, tertiary winding EMF, all those things. Let us indicate some nomenclature, nothing wrong in that. Suppose here voltage V1 is the primary source voltage, and the primary winding EMF can be taken as E1, nothing wrong. And the secondary winding EMF here it's a E2 value, and secondary load voltage, let me take it as V2 value, I can take like this. Okay. And this is what I can say, E3, tertiary winding EMF E3 value, and here load voltage V3 value. Okay, yeah? Is it okay for you? Okay, now guys, one more thing you have to understand. So we already discussed in dot rotation, I told you always assume dots at the beginning end or ending end of coils. Okay, suppose in our discussion, if you see, try to see the types of magnetic coupling or topic is there. There I clearly explained. So we assume a dot at beginning end. To be frank, in our discussion now front end is taken as a beginning end in our discussion. Please try to go through the video, it will be having some idea. So tell me first of all in our discussion, what about this one in primary winding, what about this end? It's a front end, no? Because winding is going from front side of the coil, from front side of the core, it is going like this, okay? Whereas this one can be called as back end, okay? Already I have given, there is no need to explain every time. Front end and this one is taken as back end. Here once again front end and here can be taken as back end. And here it is front end, and what of this one, back end. So I already told you in my discussion I had taken front end as beginning end. Please try to refer the types of magnetic coupling, so you'll be having some idea. So please now tell me, if I take front end, this one only I'm just taking it as beginning end, and back end I have taken it as the ending end. So similarly it will indicate all everywhere. Front end means beginning end. Back end means ending end. Similarly here also front end means beginning end, back end means ending end. Okay, and I told you we have to assume dots. At the beginning end or ending end of a coil, our wish. But if you assume dot at beginning end in a primary winding, you have to assume dots in the beginning end only at secondary winding and tertiary winding also. Suppose if you assume dot at ending end in primary winding, you have to assume dot at ending end only in secondary winding and tertiary winding also. In my discussion, I will be assuming dot at the beginning end. So wherever beginning end is there, simply I will keep dot here. See, this is beginning end, let me keep dot here. This beginning end, let me keep dot here. This beginning end, let me keep dot here. That's it. Now you know, in transformer, if current, generally we are using a negative type of coupling. That means if current enters the dot in the primary winding, in secondary winding and tertiary winding, current has to leave the dot. Suppose if current enters the dot in primary winding, in secondary winding and tertiary winding, so current has to leave from the dot. That means here if I1 is in this direction, so I2 should be, it leaves the dot, no, leaves dot means it should be like this, I2 should be like this, okay? And similarly, what about here? It leaves the dot, no, so definitely this should be the direction of your I3. Okay guys, like this I am able to decide I1, I3, I2, all those things. Now let me proceed. So it will be easy for you to understand now. See guys, what is the formula for I2 dash? I2 dash equals to, I already given, minus I2 into K. I request all of you, please try to watch videos, then come to solving problems. It will be easy for you, okay? Without watching lectures, if you directly come and watch problems, it will be difficult for you, okay? Now similarly, I3 dash formula, I3 dash equals to what? Minus I3 into K is the formula, okay? So it's a common sense, I2 dash into minus I2 into K means what guys? K means what? See, I2 dash means what? Secondary to primary, no? So I2 dash means what? I am just referring secondary current towards the primary current, okay? So actually see, this actually I1 is equals to, I already wrote I2 dash plus I3 dash. If you want, I can write here also. I1 bar equals to, I1 bar is, he has given arrow mark like this, okay? So I1 bar equals to what I said, I1 bar equals to this one, I2 dash plus I3 dash. In fact, it is actually I0 plus I2 dash plus I3 dash, but since it's ideal transform, just neglecting I0 value, it's only I2 dash and I3 dash, okay? Now see, so I2 dash means I am just referring secondary current towards primary, that means K means what? K means what? N2 by N1. So N2 by N1 is what? N2 by N1 means 2 by 4, okay? 2 by 4. So that, now tell me, I2 dash equals to, are getting minus I2 into 1 by 2 is the value. So thing is here you have to find I2 value. So tell me, how can you find a secondary current here, secondary winding current, secondary winding load current I2 value? I2 equal to secondary load volts V2 by 10 ohms, no? V2 by, I can say 10 ohms, V2 by 10 ohms. You know guys, transformer is he has given ideal transformer. Ideal transformer means, you know, V1 bar equals to minus C1 bar is a relation, and E2 bar equals to V2 bar is a relation, you have to remember. In tertiary winding, E3 dash is equals to V3 dash is a relation, you have to remember. Because it's a ideal transformer, there is no drop, okay? V1 equals to minus C1, E2 bar equals to V2 bar, E3 bar equals to V3 bar. Now tell me, so V2 I wrote, that means indirect I can take E2. E2 by 10. So tell me if you want to find E2, I think we don't, if you want E2, if I know E1 value I can find out, because E2 by E1 equals to what? N2 by N1. So N2 value how much? N2 by N1 means 2 by 4. So if you know E1 value, so I can tell easily answer E2 value. So here guys, you know V1 as a 400 volts AC. So I know that is V1 equals minus E1 bar. So simply, so V1 equals minus E1 bar is relation. Therefore I can write E1 equals to what? Minus 400 volts. Yes or no? Because you know V1 as 400 volts. You can take even as minus 400 volts, nothing okay, nothing wrong, because of Lenz law. Everywhere don't neglect Lenz law. Everywhere you have to take Lenz law into account. Systematically you have to do, you'll get perfect answer. Okay. So right here, this what of this value? E2 value, E1 value I told minus 400 volts. So now tell me, therefore E2 is equals to 2 by 4 1 by 2 into minus 400. So that becomes what? Minus 200 volts is the value. This is the value of your E2. Now tell me simply. This I2 is equals to E2 value means you are having formula no, E2 by 10 something like that. So minus 200 by 10, it becomes how much? Minus 20 amperes. This is the value of your I2. But what I should know? You should know I2 dash, right? You should know I2 dash. So tell me I2 dash is equals to minus I2 into 1 by 2 is the relation, minus I2 means what? Minus 20 into 1 by 2. What of this value? 10 amperes. Yes or no? So I got I2 dash as 10 amperes. Now I have to find only what? I3 dash. If you are able to find I3 dash value, your answer will be completed. Okay, simple. Now tell me, how can you find I3 dash value? Simple as usual. I3 dash equals minus I3 into K is the formula. I3 dash is equals to minus I3 into K means what, guys? You are referring a tertiary winding current towards a primary means. I3 means referring to a primary, it becomes I3 dash means K means what? N3 by N1. N3 by N1. N3 by N1 means I can write 1 by 4 here. 1 by 4. So what is the value of minus I3 into 1 by 4? Okay. So thing is here you have to find I3 value. So I3 means what, ma? I3 is nothing but tertiary winding current. That means current flowing through pure capacitor. Can you please tell me what is the current flowing through pure capacitor? So please be careful here. I3 equals to V3 by minus JXE. Current flowing through pure capacitor is minus JXE. Don't take plus JXE. That is wrong. I am saying current flowing through pure capacitor means I equal to V by minus JXE. I equal to V by minus JXE. Whereas for inductor means I equals to V by JXL. That is okay. But some people are doing mistake here. So they are not taking this minus symbol. If you won't take this minus symbol, instead of getting one option, you will get another option. Okay, please be careful. Current flowing through pure capacitor. If you want, I can write here. See, suppose here voltage nothing but let me take it as simple V value, something like that. Is a capacitor, pure capacitor, and what of this one? I can take it as a reactance value as XC value, and let me take it as IC value here. Current flowing through pure capacitor IC is equals to V by minus JXC is the formula. Please don't do wrong. Okay, instead of taking minus JXC, if you take plus JXC, readily that option also will be available. That answer also will be available in your options. Okay, so please be careful. Now tell me, yeah, I3 equal to V3 by minus JXC, no? So V3 nothing but what, guys? V3 nothing but E3 only. So simply I can write E3 by minus JXC. How much he has given in the question? 2.5. Okay, so thing is here, if you know E3 value, your answer will be completed. Now tell me, how can you find E3 value once again? E3 by E1 equals N3 by N1. That's it. Now tell me, E3 by E1 is equals to N3 by N1. You know E1 value already. E3 equals N3 value how much? N3 by N1 means what? 1 by 4 into E1 value how much? Minus 400. How much is value? Minus 100 volts. This is the value of your E3. Now tell me, with this knowledge, I am asking I3 value. I3 is equals to E3 by minus J 2.5 is the formula. I mean I3 value is minus 100 by minus J 2.5. So minus cancel. 1 by J means minus J. 100 by 2.5 means 40 amperes, minus J 40 amperes. This is only I3 only, guys. I am asking now I3 dash because I need I3 dash, no? So tell me, what is the formula for I3 dash? I dash equals to minus I3 into 1 by 4. So minus I3 means minus J40 into 1 by 4. You'll get a plus J10 amperes. Plus J10 amperes is the answer. Okay, plus J10 amperes. So here plus J10 amperes is the answer. Okay, right. This is the way how you have to do question number 6. Suppose some people will do like this. Suppose some people they want to do in this different manner also, like they just want to, they will refer simply this RL towards primary. It becomes RL dash. They'll refer XC towards primary, it becomes XC dash, and simply they'll find out a primary current phasor. So simple, you can do like that also, nothing wrong, but be careful. If you want to do like that, one simple thing you have to remember. See, I1 is nothing but it's a sum of I2 dash and I3 dash, means the current flowing through, if I refer RL towards primary, so that means RL dash. Current flowing through RL dash means I can say I2 dash. Current flowing through X, if I refer XC towards the primary, means it becomes XC dash. Current flowing through XC dash means I can say I3 dash. So you have to connect this RL dash and XC dash in parallel. There some people are doing mistake. Generally people are referring, okay, RL is referring towards primary, X is referring towards primary, that is okay. But after referring, where they are doing mistake means, instead of connecting RL dash and XC dash in parallel, they are connecting in series. That gives wrong answer. Please be careful. Suppose if you want to like this, RL refers to primary, it becomes what RL dash formula, RL by K square, no. So what is the value of RL here? 10. By K square means secondary to primary. Means what I can say? K value means what? N2 by N1. N2 by N1 means what? 2 by 4. 2 by 4 whole square. Becomes what? What of this value? 10 into 10 into what I can say? 4, no. You can say 40 ohms, 40 ohms. And now what of XC dash is equals to XC by K square. So XC value how much has given in the question? 2.5 by K means what? K means what? So tertiary to primary, that means N3 by N1. N3 by N1 means what I can say? 1 by 4. 1 by 4 whole square. Okay. So 2.5 into, you can say here 16. Okay. Now what about this value also? Once again we'll get same 40 ohms only, I think so. Get same 40 ohms only. 16 5s are 80. Yeah, 40 ohms. Okay. Now see, now what you have to do is you have to connect this RL dash and XC dash in parallel. Don't forget that. Okay. I will write that point also. So then connect RL dash and XC dash in parallel. That is very, very important point here. Okay. So this is very, very important point here. So then you can simply answer I1 bar equals to, I already refer this RL towards the primary because RL dash. Here what is the voltage? Here I can say, if you want to find a current flowing through RL dash, okay, simply tell me, if I refer this to RL towards the primary, I can say that. So tell me what is the voltage in what is the voltage across here? What is supply voltage here? 400 volts. Okay. So simply I can say 400 by 40. 400 by 40 plus 400 by, don't forget, I already told you, current flowing through capacitor means, just now I told you, V by minus Jx, 400 by minus J, XC dash means what I can say? 40. So what of this value? So 10 plus 1 by J means minus, 1 by J means minus J, already minus is there, it becomes plus J, and this becomes also 10. So 10 plus J10 amperes. Okay, this is also you can do. So you can take it as a shortcut like that. You can take this as a shortcut. It's up to you, because gate examination, you'll be having a lot of time will be there. Don't forget. Don't think that you'll be having less time only. So gate means we'll be having more time will be there. Okay, regarding my point of view, because out of 100 marks, there is no need to attend 100 marks. Okay, if you are very comfortable, if you are very confident with the 80 marks, 85 marks like that, that means I'm saying if you are very confident saying. So in that 85 marks also, if you are getting only 60, 50 like this, it's not correct. If you are very confident with the 80, 85 marks like that, so you'll be having a lot of time. 3 hours will be there. So happily you can do. So please, if you are very comfortable with the shortcut, yes, you can go. Because don't forget to connect RL dash and XC dash in the parallel after referring. Instead of connecting in parallel, if you keep in a series, no, that gives you wrong answer. Okay, please don't do that like that. So this is the conventional way, and this way I can say shortcut. Okay, so option. So 10 plus J10 amperes. Your option I can say C. Once again, option C is the answer. Okay, option C is the answer. Option C is the answer for this question. Okay guys, yeah, this is about your question number 6, which was asked in GATE 2003 for 2 marks. Okay, now let me go for question number 7. In the meanwhile, please try to go through that question number 7 once. Please try to go through that question number 7. Question number 7. So this question number 7, I think it was asked in GATE 2014 for once again 2 marks. Okay, so please, question number 7, I think 7 I can say, GATE 2014 for 2 marks. GATE 2014 for 2 marks. Okay, let us see what he has given. The load shown in the figure absorbs 4 kilowatts at a power factor of 0.89 lagging. First of all, let me draw whatever the figure he has given. Please let me draw the figure. In the meanwhile, please try to study the question. You should get some, if you study the question, you will get some idea. Okay, right. It's a 2:1 transformer, right? So 2:1 transformer. So let me show more number of turns in a primary and less number of turns in secondary. It's a 2:1 transformer. Okay. Next, he connects some load, right? ZL is the load here. And he has given voltage here 110 volts, I think 110 volts. And now please let me study the question. I think he kept some dots also. Let me keep dots here. Yeah, 2:1, 110 ZL, 1 ohm, and here he has given X, something like that. And what about supply? 50 hertz AC source. It's a 50 hertz AC source. 50 hertz AC source he has given. Okay. Now let us see. Yeah, the load shown in the figure absorbs 4 kilowatts. That is very important. So he has given load how much here? 4 kilowatts. That is very important. 4 kilowatts. At what power factor? Cos how much he has given? 0.89 lagging. 0.89 lagging said. 0.89 lag. Okay. So he is asking that, assuming the transformer to be ideal once again. So please guys, once again he is saying that ideal transformer. You know, ideal means, I already told you in the previous question itself, ideal transformer means I asked you to place in place of I mu 0, in place of IW 0, in place of I naught value also 0. Okay. Now let us see. Yeah, the value of the reactance X to improve the input power factor to unity. He is saying that what is the reactance I have to connect here, so that I need to improve input power factor to unity, like that he is saying. Okay, he is asking. Okay, very simple question only. Please try to understand. So before that guys, you tell me if it is you can take it one as E2 voltage. Okay, and if it is E2 is 110 volts, what about E1 value? It's a 2:1 transformer. No, if it is a 110 volts, this is because 220 volts only. Yes or no? So 220 volts only. And please try to find out here it's nothing but let me take load voltage as V2. You know, ideal transformer, everybody knows that V1 bar equals to minus E1 bar, and E2 bar equals what I can say? V2 bar only. So he has given E2 value how much? 110. So V2 also becomes 110 volts only. So tell me, from this PL equals to, I can say load power equals to load voltage V2, I2. Let me take this I2 value here. I2 cos pi 2. V2 I2 cos pi 2. Okay. So 4 into 10 cube is equals to V2 value means 110 into I2 into cos pi 2 means 0.89. So tell me from this I2 value how much here? 4000 divided by 110 into 0.89. This is the value of your I2. Please tell me what is the value of I2 you are getting? What is the value of I2 you are getting? 40.858 amperes. Please try to do 40.858 amperes. You can do using calci. Please tell me 40.858 amperes is the answer. Okay, I mean you are right. I am saying I2 value. So guys, let me find out I1 also. It will be useful for us in coming sessions. Okay, I mean to say in coming while you are discussing this question. No, I1 will be useful for us. So try to find out I1 value also here. You know, I1 by I2 is equals to, for ideal transformer, it is simply E2 by E1. So now tell me what about I1 value, guys? I1 is equals to E2 by E1, means 110 by E1 220 volts into I2 value 40.85 amperes, 858 I can say 110 2s are, so 40.858 by 2, so you'll get 20 point, I1 value you get how much bar? I1 value you'll get something like 20.425 amperes, 20.425 amperes. This is the value of your I1. Let us, because some uses, because of this I1 we are having some function is it. That's why I'm just calculating I1 also. Now let us see. Let us see, guys. So now my simple question, let me approach using vector diagram for this question. So it will be very better. Okay. So first of all, tell me, guys, you know, if I take voltage V1 as reference here, after how many degrees your IME will come into picture? After 90 degrees. But I told you it's ideal transformer, therefore IME is equals to 0. So there is no need to show IME value. You know IME and flux will be in phase. Let me show flux directly here. And because of Lenz law, after how many degrees when compared with your pi, when compared with your flux, E1 will come into picture, primary winding primary winding EMF E1 will come into picture after 90 degrees. So E1 lags flux by how much here? 90 degrees. So E1 lags flux by 90 degrees. And because of same core flux also we are getting a EMF E2 also. That too I told E1 is 220, E2 is 110. That means E1 is more than E2, no? That you have to understand. E1 is this much. In this almost all 50% I can see your E2 value, because it's a 110 only. It's a 220 only. Therefore I reckon E2 value here. E2 lags flux by once again 90 degrees. And you know, guys, E2 equals to V2. It's because ideal transformer I already told you. I can write E2 equals to V2 like that. Now he has given here secondary current I2 has given how much? We calculate I2 current 40.858 amperes I got. He simply mentioned that load is what is load is mentioned is a 4 kilowatts operating at 0.89 lagging, means your I2 lags V2 by an angle pi 2. What is that pi 2 value? Cos inverse of 0.89. Is it okay? Yes or no? Please, if you want, you can write. I will write. Find out. From this, I am finding pi 2 here. Pi 2 equal to cos inverse of 0.89. Okay. So please tell me this pi 2 value using calcium. Tell me pi 2 value. You'll get 27.128. 27.128 degrees is the value. Okay. So please, guys, your I2 current lags load voltage V2 by an angle of 27.128. Why I am writing lagging means it's a 0.8 lagging only. So please, yes, I2 lags V2. Okay, I2 lags V2 by an angle how much, ma? By an angle how much? Pi 2. What is that pi 2 value? 27.128 degrees. Okay. If I refer this I2 towards primary, it becomes what? If I refer this I2 towards primary, it becomes I2 dash, okay, I2 dash. So tell me, guys, what is the angle between your V1 and I2 dash here? Common sense once again, same angle will come, no? 27.128 degrees. Is it okay for you? Okay, yes or no? Now please tell me, already you know I1 bar in primary side, if you see I1 bar equals to I0 bar plus I2 dash bar. If its ideal transform I0 is negligible, means in place of I2 what I can write? I1. So simply this I dash only becomes what? I can say I1. Okay. Now tell me, for this I1 you are having two components. For the I1 vector you are having two components, one along the y axis, this one along the x axis, this one. Okay. Yes or no? So now tell me, if you try to understand, I am writing here one point here. Without connecting this reactance, without connecting this reactance. If this reactance is not there, it is not there. Now tell me, what about input power factor here? Input power factor means cos 27.18. Yes or no? Angle pi 1 is angle between V1 and I1. So I got 27.128 only. So what is the input power factor without connecting reactance? Cos 27.128 once again means you are getting 0.89 only. So let me write it. Without connecting reactance means input power factor is equals to cos pi 1. Here pi 1 means 27.128. Once again you will be getting 0.89. Lag or leader? Lag only. If you want to see I1 vector lags V1 no by an angle of 27.8. So I can say to 0.89 lag. Now my question here is with reactance. Suppose if I connect reactance value here. So tell me guys, it's a common sense. I'm asking simple question. He's asking that. So if I want to improve the input power factor from one value, example 0.89 to unity power factor. So tell me what is the reactance I need to connect here. So it's a common sense that tell me which type of reactance I have to connect here. Is it capacitor reactance or inductor reactance? So generally capacitor is only used for improving power factor. No. So that means indirectly you have to confirm your mind that you have to assume this as a capacitive reactance only. Is that about capacitive reactance only? It's a capacitive reactance only, capacitive reactance only. Because I need to improve the input power factor. No. That means definitely capacitor should be there. Okay, capacitor should be there. So current flowing through pure capacitor. Let me take it as Ix is the current flowing through pure capacitor. Now if a voltage is there, here, okay, and pure capacitor is there means tell me current flowing through pure capacitor. IC value means what? IC leads voltage or lags voltage? I'm asking pure capacitor. IC leads voltage by how much angle? 90 degrees. So with that knowledge, please tell me Ix leads supply voltage. I already assumed V1 as voltage source as V1. If you want, you can see reference I have taken V1. So Ix leads V1 by how much angle? 90 degrees. So please, this is what I can say V1. Lag means you should come like this. Leading should go like this. Ix leads V1 by angle of how much? 90 degrees. This is what I can say. 90 degrees. Okay. Can anybody please tell me what is the value of your Ix value here? I am asking Ix. I am asking magnitude only. I am asking current flowing through capacitor means generally formula means V by minus Jxc. That is okay. I am asking only magnitude means mod 220 by this is voltage across this capacitor. Mod 220 by Xc. So I can write here. If you want magnitude of current flowing through pure capacitor, it's a mod 220 volts by mod 220 by I can simply mod I can say Xc. You can call it as Xc or okay. He has given the question X only. No, let me keep X only. Okay, mod 220 by X. So now tell me guys, simple thing only I am asking. Without connecting reactance, I said angle between V1 and I1, nothing but pi 1 is 27.128. Cos pi 1, cos 27.128 means 0.89 like we are getting. If I connect reactance value here, so Ix leads voltage by angle of you are getting 90 degrees here. Suppose if you want to improve the input power factor to unity means angle between V1 and I1 should be how much here? Angle between V1 and I1 should be equal to how much? 0. Then only cos unit becomes 1, no? Yes or no? That means angle between V1 and I1 should be equal to 0. Then only input power factor becomes a unity. What is the meaning for that? That means your I1 current from here, it has to come here. I1 current will have, this I1 current has to come from this point to this point. That means what? Actually I1 current is having vertical component and horizontal component is there. Vertical component is there, horizontal component is there. If you want to improve the input power factor to unity means angle between V1 and I1 should be equal to 0. That means this I1 vector has to come this side. It has to come this side means what? Horizontal component should cancel. Yes or no? Because this horizontal component only, this I1 is coming here. Suppose if horizontal component is not there, this I1 will come this side. This I1 will come in phase with your V1. In phase with V1. Then angle between V1 and I1 becomes 0. Cos 0, it becomes 1 only. So here, what is our ultimate motto now? You have to cancel this horizontal component of I1. Okay. So I can write here. So for improving input power factor to unity, what I need to do here? You should equate this magnitude and this magnitude, so that horizontal component of I1 will cancel. I1 will be in phase with V1. Pi 1 becomes 0. Cos pi 1 becomes 1. Okay. So for improving input power factor to unity, mod I can say Ix should be equal to mod Ix should be equals to this value. What of this value? First of all, tell me this value. Let me calculate this value first of all. After that, we will see. So this value means, guys, this value means for this triangle, this is the value. This value is nothing but this value only. So for this triangle, this means nothing but it's opposite side only, no? I mean opposite to this angle, you are getting this side. Therefore, this can be called the opposite side. If you want opposite side, which formula I have to use? Sine pi, no? So sine 27.128 equals to opposite means this value. Opposite means I can take it as z something like that. Z. I can take this one as z something like that. Z by hypotenuse means what I can say I1 value. So from this tell me z equal to sine 27.128 into I1. So I1 value how much? I already calculated previously only. That's why in advance I calculated this I1 value because it will be useful for us. Okay. What's the value of I1? 20.425 amperes. 425 amperes. Okay. So therefore tell me what about this z value? Sine 27.128 into 20.425. So tell me answer. I think 9.313. 9.313 amps. So units amps only, you know, because it's a component of your I only, current only. So obviously amps will be there. So you should equate this mod Ix to this mod Z. I can say 9.313 amperes. So mod Ix should be equals to what, ma? I can say 9.313. So Ix means already I told mod 220 by X is equals to 9.313. So tell me from this X value how much? X value how much? 220 by 9.313 is what your answer. How much? 220 by 9.313. 220 by 9.31, 23.63 you will get. 23.63 ohm you will get. So what are the units for this capacitive, reactance? Ohms only, no? 23.63 ohms you will get. Okay, yeah? Okay. Very simple question only. There is nothing to confuse. So seems to be lengthy. Is not lengthy question. For making you to understand, I explained elaborately. But if you practice once, twice like that, so this type of models can be covered easily in examination. Okay. So thank you. We'll see remaining in the next session.